Gibson Goodwood era. Now, this is an Epiphone, but I digress because Gibson and Epiphone, same company. I do have a couple of 90s Gibsons, but I just put lotion on my hands, and I don't want to touch them because nitrocellulose finish and nitro do not like lotion, and it eats away at them. At least the kind I use does. And the reason they call it the Goodwood era was from like about 89 or so to about, late 90s, early 2000s. Isn't necessarily because prior to that they were using bad wood. It's because a lot of people just hated the way they were constructing things, because it went away from what they were doing in the 50s and 60s, which is considered the golden era. So from like the late 60s all the way up to the late 80s. So, minimum 20-year period. You had pancake bodies. You had multiple piece tops, 3-4 piece tops as opposed to 2. You had maple necks versus mahogany necks. They added the volute. They changed the headstock angle. And some of that stuff, I think, was smart. Changing the headstock angle so they don't break as easily, adding a volute so it doesn't break as easily. And some models you can still get that on, some you can't. But then the 90s came along. Went back to 2-piece tops, no more pancake bodies. Everything was lighter weight. Mahogany necks came back. Volute was gone. Headstock angle was put back to where it was. I think it's like 17 degrees versus 14. And I think Epiphone uses 14, I believe. I think is what they're using. It's if you look at the break angle here. Basically, it means there's more wood back here, less likely to break the headstock off. And you couldn't really find a guitar under 10 pounds. And I've been looking at the 70s customs because I kind of like them and kind of want one. But when all of them are 10 pounds plus, 9 pounds, 15 ounces is still basically 10 pounds. It's very, very annoying. It's very, very annoying. I do have a Gibson Les Paul Custom that is on the heavier side. It's like 9 pounds, 12 ounces. That was made in the 90s. So if you're complaining about weight, that was made in the 90s still. But the weight of these guitars, the construction of them, they weren't all terrible, but a lot of people generally hated them. And ultimately, what brought it back was Slash. Slash brought back the Les Paul in the late 80s, early 90s, and kind of saved the company for a period of time there. So now you know about some of the eras of Gibson, the Goodwood era, etc. Every era had good guitars built, but, it's hit or miss. You can get a crappy 90s guitar, and you can get a really, really good 1970s Les Paul. You don't know until you get it in your hands and play it, is ultimately where it's at. Subscribe for more content.